You know, when I was a boy, I used to wonder what it'd be like to have a family. My mama died when she had me, and my daddy was gone by the time I was 8. I was on my own after that. I was 11, first time I shot a man. His fault, but then we all think that all the time. I thought God himself would come down and take vengeance on me for what I'd done, but that ain't happened yet. Sometimes I wish it would. Well, I guess we'll be all right. We got Dutch. If there's anyone I reckon could convince good old St. Peter he got it wrong, it's Dutch. Aw. We weren't that bad. Come on. Let us in. Let us in. Let us in so we can rob you blind, just like every other unfortunate along the way. How you boys keeping? My lord. Been quite a ride since Blackwater. Since that thing on the boat. You boys know all about that. At least, you know enough. Still trying to forget. Got my wings clipped there, then nearly got eaten by a pack of wolves.
You just hanging around,
Maybe
Arthur?
I should learn my lesson. And just hope Dutch has learned his. I love Dutch. Y'all know that. But we're bad men. We're fighters, I know. But sometimes I start thinking about that girl. Well, Javier knows what we saw, and it weren't pretty. Ask Micah. Although he encouraged it, weren't pretty at all. I just hope Dutch was right when he said that we had to do it to survive. Sometimes you just gotta do really bad things, I guess.
Hello?
Remember the old days? When we used to go around giving away the money we'd robbed?
Yeah. Guess that just kind of stopped at some point.
Sure did.
How we all doing? Man, we are in some shit now, ain't we? Even before Blackwater, I had my doubts, but since then, we've had folk drop like flies. Men I've ridden with for years, just dead. Gone. Women and children, too. This ain't nothing nice. Whole thing used to make some kind of sense, but now feels like we're waiting on a miracle or waiting to die, and I can't tell which it is. I mean, we've always had problems, but never like this. Them folks in Blackwater, it was real mad, and we responded like animals. Like cornered animals. And all of a sudden, things don't make much sense no more. We have become what we set out to hate. And it scares me. It does.
You can't keep reliving that day in Blackwater.
It's hard not to.
We all gotta start moving on.
I wanted to thank all you boys for taking me in, for not killing me. Let me tell you, old Colm O'Driscoll, he's a rotten fella.
Not you as well. It's not Colm. Colm. It's column. In Ireland, we say column.
Well, He likes Colm. He's American.
Oh, he's Irish. Just look at his name. Just a dumb Irish bastard who can't pronounce his own name.
If you say so.
I do say so. Colm O'Driscoll. Say it now.
He likes Colm.
And you like breeding. So say Colm properly.
Call him.
That's better, boy. That's better.
Hi.
Hey there.
All right? Call him? What are you talking about?
Don't you start too. That's how you say it.
Well, I'll be sure to tell him that.
So, what's your story, boy?
Horses.
Horses. How do you mean, horses?
Or, I used to work with horses when I was a little boy. My pa came over from Ireland. He got sick and died. My ma got sick and died. It was cholera. After that, I was all alone, and the stables where I worked threw me out. I was living in the West.
Hey, look out,
We
Javier.
traveled out there because Pa thought he could become a farmer. In California. We never made it to California. I joined the Army, but that didn't work out well. Then I fell in with some outlaws. They got killed, and I fell in with the O'Driscolls. They gave me a choice. Ride with them, or die. So, wasn't much of a choice. Now, I'm in with you, and all I know is folks all seem to die. And I still love horses.
You'll always have the horses, Kieran.
I know where I am with them.
Well, go do some work then.
So, what's he like, this Colm? Or Colm? Or whatever he calls himself, anyway.
Honestly,
Yeah, honestly.
he's, when he talks to you, nicely, it's like the sun is shining. And when he's mad at you, it's like the devil's gonna be upon you. That's how I'd put it. He changes. He's happy and you're happy. He's mad and you're upset and you don't know why. He's unfair and unkind. As long as it isn't directed at you, you don't care. He turns his men into monsters. Somehow he makes them love only him. He scares me. I mean, you boys scare me, but you're still like human beings. He's it's hard to explain.
Well, he sounds like a right idiot, if you ask me. Real pleased with himself.
He scares me.
Yeah, well, he don't scare me. Silly fool you are.
I know.
I thought you barely knew Colm.
Well, yes, but I heard plenty.
Is that right?
You know, my mama was born in a field. Literally, in a field. Her mama was picking cotton, didn't even know she was pregnant. Came over funny and she gave birth right in the field. And the goddamn overseer, he took my mama away and made my grandmama get up and finish picking. Overseer was sweet on her and used to rape her. After she was set free at the end of the war, he tried it again, and she killed him with a knife. They nearly lynched her, but she ran away, and my mama never saw her again.
Shit. We all think we had it hard.
I wasn't saying it so you feel sorry for me or nothing.
I know.
You boys really are pathetic.
And what are you?
I'm a goddamn man.
Oh, is that so?
Well, compared to you lot. Here we are, on the run, being chased east, across this whole goddamn country. And you boys isn't even making any real moves. No wonder old Dutchie's so goddamn tired. He's got to think for all of you.
Shut up, Micah.
No, I will not shut up! I'm trying to help. Shutting up will lead to us all being killed.
We ain't being killed. We've been in worse scrapes than this.
Me too. But moving around with this many of us, it's trouble.
There used to be more.
You're just worried. Worried because you're the one person in this whole goddamn bunch who does nothing but profit from everyone else's work.
That ain't true.
You're the first person I'd kill.
Well, the feeling is mutual.
He just don't like the truth. He's afraid. He's afraid because he's a goddamn parasite. He ain't never off grafting, nor hunting, nor killing like the rest of us. Oh, sure, he's family. If he was my uncle, I'd throttle him. He ain't no one's uncle. We should do him in. I'm joking. Relax.
Arthur.
Why are you being like that?
He's a parasite. And not the only one.
Just go easy on him.
How you boys doing?
Fine.
Said boys. Wasn't talking to you, old man.
Suit yourself.
You know, there are winners and losers in this world. And that's a fact. And what confuses me about you, old man, is you're a loser who somehow ain't got lost yet.
You know, I love it when you enlighten us with these philosophy lessons. You know, I don't know how we managed before you joined us.
Now, Dutch is a great man and far better than any of us, but you waste too much time and energy on weaklings like you.
Me and Dutch go back a long way.
And he feels bad for you. That's why you're still here.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that things ain't got no use, should be put out of their misery.
You just tried, huh?
Was only joking, old man. Don't go and wet your bed again. Ooh.
How you keeping?
I'm keeping.
I like that. Big, tough, and taciturn. Yes, that's the word. Taciturn.
Is it? I don't know what it means.
Well, kind of means big and tough and hiding how dumb you are by not saying much.
That's me.
Oh, it doesn't have to be.
If the choice is folks thinking I'm dumb but not knowing for sure, and folks knowing I'm dumb because I sound like you, I think I'd rather keep them wondering.
I see what you did there. Mighty clever. You know, maybe you ain't so dumb. In that case, say something.
Say what?
I don't know. If I knew, I'd say it.
Maybe it just doesn't need to be said. You ever think of that? Maybe silence is okay.
Silence. Silence. I got enough time for silence. It's called eternity.
I'm starting to understand eternity a little better. It'll be a lot like this conversation.
You are a very boring man, Charles Smith. You know that?
So you keep telling me.
What are you getting at Charles for?
I should have known you'd take his side.
Just stop being an idiot.
Mr. Pearson.
Sir,
That was quite a feast. Thank you.
my pleasure. My pleasure.
So tell me, do you ever miss the sea?
Always. Every day.
Why don't you go back?
Nah. I'm too old for that business. Far too old. Once you fought real monsters and got away alive, you head back to land and you count your blessings, sir.
Monsters?
Monsters.
Whales.
Whales. Whales are like kittens. You stick them with a harpoon, and you scoop them up and you head home and you act tough. That's easy. No. Real monsters.
Sharks.
Sardines.
Sardines, that's ridiculous.
Sardines. Any real seagoer will tell you. Boys hunt whales. Men hunt sardines. It's not the size, it's the number. One mistake, and they'll swamp you. I've seen 300-pound men eaten alive. I once saw a Portuguese wrestler crushed by a net that ripped. It's the sheer volume of them. Brutal. Brutal business.
You learn a new thing every day.
Exactly.
See, did I ever tell you boys that I once thought about going to sea? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the honest truth is that I was in love with the captain's wife, and she was in love with me, and, well, we were gonna sail to Brazil and raise cattle. Well, but, I got drunk. Missed the boat.
Hello, Mr. Morgan.
Literally missed the boat. Yeah. By the time I got to the docks, it was gone.
Happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Hey there.
Hello. I reckon I'll take my chances with a sardine over a whale.
And that is where perception and experience collide.
Okay, Mr. Pearson.
You boys mind if I sit down a while?
Been a tough few weeks. I know I've been kind of mad with you all. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, but I want us to get out of here. Everybody nearly gone crazy. I'm just trying to keep things together. Sometimes it gets hard. I guess I'm struggling to just find a path forward for us all. Same as Dutch, same as Hosea. I don't want to die. But if I have to, I will. So, forgive me, all of you.
Hello.
Gentlemen. And a beautiful night. Beautiful night. I'm not much of a storyteller, so forgive me, but I really... I don't have much to say. Life's always confused me. I don't feel I understand it very much. Other human beings seem to understand why they were born, but for me, it seems like I was born to hurt and suffer myself. That doesn't always seem like a really good reason. I wish there was another way. But here in this land, I feel very stuck. But, I'm sorry to complain. This is just so.
Hey there, Arthur.
Listen, Charles. You're about the best man I know.
Yep.
Let me see some more smiling, boys. Come on. Life? It's actually pretty good. 100 years ago, we'd have been indentured men. My people were peasants, starving in a field someplace. My mamas were in Lincolnshire. My daddies were outside of Rotterdam. At least that's what they told me. The modern world is ugly. But the old world was worse. Our job is to make a better world for ourselves. Not go backward, but go forward with hope and dreams. Seriously. And that hope begins now by being hopeful and happy. So cheer up. All of you, cheer up.
You okay?
Yeah, just fed up with all the pessimism around here.
I hear you.
See? What I tell you? Listen. Next time, listen. Faith. Hi there. Faith is all that matters. We had faith, and we made it. We are gonna make it. We have a plan. My friends. My loved ones. A plan. It is a real plan. We are gonna leave this place, and we are gonna find our own paradise. Our own
in heaven? Tahiti, Fiji, Australia, the real world. Not this godforsaken dump that all of Europe's detritus has acted out its vengeance on. We are gonna be free. Free.
Yes, we are, Dutch! That's right, boss.
Too right, Dutch.
You're pretty fired up there.
We are going to do this, Arthur. It ain't just talk.
I believe you.
How are you boys keeping? Listen, I know... Well, things is kind of tough. But we have had it tough before. We're being tested. But we are gonna overcome these challenges. Now, Blackwater, it weren't nothing nice. I know that. But we have to push on. Even though we walk through hell. Well, we walk together. We walk together. Remember that? All of you, remember that. How you boys keeping?
Good. Them scars still pretty raw.
New ones or the old ones?
Exactly.
Oh, Marston. You are so tough with them scars. How'd you get them scars, John? Being tough.
I ain't tough. I'm either stupid or slow. I cannot decide which. Either way, I keep getting caught.
We all get caught eventually, John. I guess the trick is to decide by who.
What do you mean?
Seems like you've been getting caught by a few things. Not just wolves and knives.
Ain't nothing ever caught me Dutch didn't want to eat me.
Well, exactly. I think that's the point.
Listen, I didn't get these scars falling over in church.
Not yet, you didn't.
Just what do you mean, Dutch?
I guess I should be going to bed. Don't you be an arrogant son of a bitch, John. You're better than that. Love gets us all in the end. You be grateful it got you.
A man talks drivel sometimes.
I guess. I wish I had a scar.
I ain't as young as I used to be. Been a tough couple of months. Been a tough couple of years. Since I got sick. It's all been tough, you know. We're born with some dreams. We acquire others as we get older, and then we live out something else. When I was younger, I wanted to be a priest. I did, a priest. Didn't know you had to be a Catholic to be a priest. I guess I was always looking for a Messiah. Funny what you find in this life.
Hello?
When I was a kid back east, they said there were dragons in the West. Dragons. Well, I guess we found them. Found them, or made them, or became them. Oh, these futile lives of petty sin we have lived. What choice Did we have, really? Streets weren't paved with gold. There's poverty in Europe, there's poverty here. Only here, you can stick a gun to someone's head. Take what you want. That was the only difference.
Sir, I can see you as a priest, Jose.
A priest con man, maybe.
Right.
Ah, Mr. Peterson.
You know, when I was younger, I'd try and rob anyone, anything. If it weren't nailed down, I'd take it. If you had anything, I'd try and take it from you.
I don't understand that lawman get-up.
I know now, I seem like a sweet old man. But as a young man, I was worse than any of you fools. Total and absolute degenerate. A liar, thief, a killer, when necessary. Then I met two people who changed my life. My dear wife, Bessie, and good old Dutch. And for 20 years now, life has made sense. It isn't my fault, all the unkindness and misery, and I can't stop it, I can't change it, but I can improve things just a bit. That's a lesson I learned from each of them. And what I try to teach you fools, life can be better. We aren't perfect, but we can protect the people we love. Dutch caught me trying to steal food from him. I thought he was going to kill me. But we looked at each other and we saw something. We've been best friends ever since. He's crazy and I'm a fool, but I trust him because he's true. No lying in him. And when somebody doesn't lie in this world and you don't lie to them, then together you can achieve great things. And destroy great powers. Ignore everything else I said, but remember that.
Well, I think we're gonna be okay. In the end.
I hope so.
We made it this far.
I ever tell you about the time I went on the stage?
Is this like the time you joined the cavalry?
No, this is a true story.
Really true or mostly true?
Really true. Gospel truth, solid oak truth. I always loved drama. And I always had a comedy routine, falling over, getting punched, that sort of thing. Used to play it in the theaters and on the street, all up and down the big rivers back when I was a young man.
Oh, well, I was always into running women.
That's because you're a lowlife, whereas I had aspirations.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I was a comedian, but I wanted to do something serious. Drama. Tried reading some of it, but I didn't understand more than 2 words of it. I just wanted to be in one of them. I don't know why now. Till one day, I snuck onto the stage.
Turner it was. The Revenger's Tragedy. Bunch of Italians stabbing each other. And I stabbed someone.
Really stabbed them?
No, I wasn't quite that dumb. But then I had a line to say, and I completely forgot it and got booed off. Oh, the shame of it. And that was the end of my dramatic career.
I should have been an actor. I'm a natural. But the lore of Africa was too great for me. Did I ever tell you about Timbuktu?
Many times, my friend, many times. And I don't believe any of it. It's getting kind of late. I gotta get some sleep.
Well, be well.
I ever tell you boys about the time I was hanged?
Oh, I think so. Tell us again.
Sure. So I got caught doing something or other. I was just a kid, 17, 18, long before I met Dutch. I was newly an orphan. Anyway, I got caught by some hill country sheriff stealing a chicken, I think it was. And he decided I was going to be hanged for it.
For a chicken?
Yes. Only some folks thought it was unfair. And at the hanging, there was a riot. They went to lynch me. But someone I never saw, he shot the rope clean through. Instead, they hanged the sheriff. And I got away with nothing more than a sore neck.
Well, was you scared?
Absolutely petrified.
Well, fair enough. How you been keeping, Hosea?
Good. But nearly got myself lynched a couple of days ago.
How?
I had been watching this house in town. Rich family lives there. I became convinced, as you do, that the place was full of loot.
Of course. I know the feeling.
It starts to call you that thing in your stomach. Take me. Rob me. I want to be in your pocket. Silver, gold, all the good things in existence.
Exactly.
So, I'm watching the house for a few hours, and it's as quiet as a grave. I become convinced it's empty. I ask around, the people ain't been seen. So, for some reason, I must be getting sloppy. I just walk right in. Right into a wake for their dead Uncle McCarby.
No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what'd you do?
I froze. Then I saw his name, and I became McCarby's best friend they never knew about. Somehow I winged it, and let them lead me into being McCarby's former gold prospecting friend from back in '76. By the end of the evening, we were laughing together and crying. It was very sad. He was a lovely man, old McCarby.
But you still robbed them, huh?
You heartless bastard. Of course I didn't. I robbed the priest, but not the family.
That's okay, then.
You're a pair of old fools. The master at work.
Old habits die hard.
Just so long as you ain't making me dress up like an idiot.
You know, when I was a little boy, some men came to my village. They accused 5 men of spreading rebellion and heresy. They took them into the streets, stripped them naked, castrated them, and fed them to the pigs while the rest of the village was forced to watch. One of those men was my uncle. Another was a friend of my parents. And you know what those men had done? They had suggested that the men of the village demand a fair wage from the local landowner. That not that he share all that he had, just that he give enough that the people might live. Of course, Mexico could be a land of plenty. But the people with the power there? They rather kill than share the smallest little piece. All my life, I think about this. Most people are thieves because they steal the lives and the hopes of others. Arthur?
You think you'll ever go back to Mexico?
For now, I can't. You think we're wanted here? I'll be shot on sight if I go back there.
Maybe one day.
Gentlemen, mind if I warm myself a minute? I'm getting too old for this. Living in tents, on the run. By my age, I thought I'd be living on some farm somewhere, having some servant girl feed me freshly peeled grapes and another massage my feet. Funny how things turn out. Said I'm stuck in the wilderness with you degenerates trying to stay warm. Still, guess all that luxury run me to fat, and there ain't no getting fat out here. Now my old hag Greenshaw eats triple rations. Enjoy yourselves. I gotta get on. How you boys keeping?
Hey.
Listen to me. If I can give you any piece of advice, any at all, don't become a mother. Ain't worth it. Worst job in all creation. Feed the boy, raise the boy, do any damn thing you could to protect the boy, all the time. Does a little apple of his mother's eye so much as consider the words thank you? Or express anything other than utter horror at her who birthed him? Rudeness I think I could take. It's the pity and disgust I struggle with. It breaks my heart every time it does. So don't none of you boys become mothers. It ain't worth the hassle. Believe me when I tell you that, it ain't worth it.
Nice fire. You know, back when I was in the Army, and we was out on patrol, we couldn't light no fires. You see, our captain had a theory. He said a lit fire would just bring the Indians on us that much quicker. But the only problem was, no fire brought the wolves on us. Yes, sir. So there we were at night, either cold and frightened of the wolves or warm and frightened of the Indians. And I could never figure out what frightened me more. All right. I know what you boys are thinking, but I don't frighten that easy. You know what? Why don't you try yourselves a couple night out on that prairie, surrounded by savages trying to eat you alive, and we'll see who the real man is. That's all I'm saying. You can't blame a man for his honesty. Damn Indians. The horse. You mind if I sit? You know, when I first met Dutch, when I first met many of you, I had just left the Army. And it wasn't on a case of no dishonorable discharge like I'm sure some of you have heard around here. But it was by mutual consent on the account of our differing opinions, or that's how the captain put it. Differing opinions. The Army, they had their opinion, and I had mine. We was equals, but we went our separate ways. Now me, I spent a few nights sleeping rough, I admit. Funny. I was robbed. I was robbed by someone I was a... Well, you know well. Yeah. No, it was a woman. I was robbed by a woman. And then I met Dutch. Now, unlike some of you vagrants and vagabonds and orphans and murderers, I've seen what Uncle Sam can do up close. Nothing will make you believe in a man like Dutch more than seeing what power can do to a captain in the U.S. Army. I mean, it corrupts a man. It corrupts a man totally. But I believe in Dutch. I know. Dutch is Dutch. But I believe in him where he talks, I walks. And that's the way it's gonna be. And it was a woman. I see you chuckling. You know something, gentlemen? We're gonna be okay. We are gonna be fine. I mean, sure, I know things don't seem fine right now, but I've got a feeling that they are going to be fine. There's nothing to worry about. I mean, believe in old Bill here, because old Bill believes in Dutch. You know, it's how a fella responds in a moment of crisis to show you who he really is. And I know as sure as the sun rises in the one place and then goes and sets in the other, that Dutch will get us out of this mess. Now, sure, we might run into another 5 messes down the road. Shit, we might run into a whole series of messes, but we will get to the promised land, and we will be free. And for those of you who doubts it, you'll be the ones who won't make it. You can trust me on that. It's trust. North to south trust. That's all I'm saying.
Hi.
Nobody can say you ain't loyal, Bill.
Without that, what is there?
I'm with you.
You know, when I was in the Army, fellas would spend all night talking about what they were gonna do the second they left the Army. All kinds of things, like, oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be a cook, or, well, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna find me a wife. Hell, someone's like, I'm gonna go and dance with the finest whore in San Francisco. You know, some shit like that. You know how fellas is. Oh. Well, no offense. But you know what every one of them did the second they left the Army? Join the goddamn Army again. Jesus Christ. I mean, here is a group of fellas that spent every waking minute just dreaming of leaving. And then they left, and then they jumped back in again. Stupid. You know what? That taught me something. And it taught me something I will never forget. And that's that most fellas are sheep. That's right. And if you can tell the difference between a sheep and a man, then that makes you a better man than me, sir. And that's all I'm saying. Mark my words, all of you, mark my words. Stupid Army. Sheep.
You know, it's nearly 5 years since I left Mexico. And the rebellion? It still has not happened. If I go back and they find me, I'm dead. My mother. I heard she died. I mourn her, but I did not bury her. My sister got married, she moved away. I hope she's safe, but I will never know. And what was my crime? Huh? My crime was wanting food and fairness for the people. For that, I have been chased and hunted. I come here. Things are not so very different. Everyone steals, kills, suppresses, lies. All they do better here is make you believe that it's not that way. Hey.
Guess things are the same everywhere.
Yeah. The older I get, the more I find that to be true.
Kinda depressing.
Mr. Jackson.
When I was a boy, my mother told me about an animal that attacked cattle and drank their blood. Of course, you've all heard about this. Every place has one of those, but my mother's version was a little different. Along with farmyard animals, her version also ate little boys who misbehaved. Oh, she tried everything she could to keep me in line. Prepare me for a life of starving servitude, while picking corn and cotton for rich landowners, giving every penny I had to the church they used to keep us in line. I loved my mother. But she never saw how things were. Even after they killed her brother, still. She could not see how life was. Hello, Arthur.
You don't talk about your mother much.
It's painful for me.
Sure, I understand.
You know, I've seen a lot of men who say one thing and do the other thing. Who promise you the world while they rob the bread off your plate. Listen, I know Dutch been a little erratic recently. I know what went on in Blackwater, well, none of us is pretending that was something nice. But I guess, the way I see it, we're still here. And he's still right. I mean, look, you're all free to think what you want to think, but for me, I still believe in him. Because, well, he did what he did. But he did it for love. For all of us. Yes, I feel bad. They didn't deserve that, but listen, I just think, and I've been thinking about this a lot, I just think Dutch loves us. And being loved, well, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna make it. Hey, I came to America because I killed a man in Mexico. Powerful man. I knew if I stayed, everyone I loved would die. I ran. Not for my life, but for theirs. In this country, I spoke no English. I was afraid.
Hello, Arthur.
I had nothing except for my fear for I left in a rush. I was starving, feeble, and alone. I thought I would die crossing the desert. I thought I would get here and be sent back. I thought I would be killed here. Instead, I was simply starving because nobody cared. And then I met Dutch. I was stealing chickens and he, I met him doing the same. And we laughed. He took me in. And he fed me. And he clothed me. And I met all of you. I don't believe I shall ever go back home now. For this, This is my home now. You are all my home now.
Hello again, Arthur.
I'd love to have seen you and Dutch trying to rob chickens.
I'd say I had the upper hand.
Oh, have to set up a rematch.
Always good times with old Dutch. Shoot innocent people. Rob, kill, run, all in the name of fun. Dutch is fun. Dutch is gonna save us all. Dutch is gonna save us. Well, he saved me twice or more already. Stopped the farmers from lynching me up in Illinois. Just now he had me saved from wolves.
You seem
Well,
preoccupied.
he saved us all from the Pinkertons or whoever it is on our tail, and still, I doubt it. Blessed are they who have faith, yet have still not seen whatever that line he spouts is. What do I know? I don't know a thing. I mean, that man I killed for, the man I ran for, the man I believed in, is that still the same man I see now? Guess about all I got left now is doubts. Doubts and scars.
Yeah, we all been in this a long time.
I barely remember nothing else.
Nope.
Listen to me. Don't, none of you, never go do something stupid and get yourself a woman. You hear me? Trust your old Uncle John on this one. And if you got one, get rid of them. Go drown them in the goddamn ocean, because trust me, boys, it's you or them. You or them, they'll kill you. But they won't do you the kindness of shooting you or slitting your throat. They will slowly grind you down to dust with the nagging and the demands and the complaints. You will die the most painful death imaginable, and that's this. The slow realization that you would rather be dead than have to listen to her crap for a moment longer. And if you knew you could kill her and get away with it, you would. Trust me on that.
So, things ain't going well with Abigail then?
Just stay out of it, Arthur.
Gladly.
So this is it, huh? We all gonna die and never see no promised land. No heaven on earth. No man unleashed. No real land, no pure land, or none of that stuff Dutch spouts. We all just gonna get shot like any other hoodlum. Put down like any other pest. And all that stuff we believed in was just something to make us better at killing folk, faster at running away. Well, I guess it is what it is, and right now this is it. Ain't never gonna see my son grow up. Ain't never gonna atone for my sins. Ain't never nothing but gonna get shot for them. I hope God can forgive me for what I've done on this earth, because ain't much I'm proud of. A whole lot I hope he's forgotten about.
You sound like you've given up.
I don't know. Maybe I have.
No. We gotta see this through, John.